Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick, and it's the Halloween special and season finale of season 7 of Bottom of the Stream.
How crazy is that it's fallen on the same week?
Wow, there you go.
Wasn't planned, just happened like that. I suppose it's looking at Halloween isn't next week, and then we would have been really struggling.
Yeah, that's true.
So this week on the season 7 finale, this season 7 Halloween special and the season 7 movie, we are talking about a film called Rainbow Time. Rainbow Time was released in 2016. It is a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 31 minutes. It's currently rated at 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
5.9?
I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about right, personally.
Yeah.
This film stars a guy called Linas Phillips. He plays a character called Shonzi. We will come back to him in a bit. Also stars a lady called Melanie Lynskey.
Yeah.
She plays a character called Lindsay. She has been on Bottom of the Stream before.
She has.
And yeah, this is her second appearance on the show.
Just a quick word about Melanie Lynskey.
Okay.
She's a really good actress.
Yes.
And
she is.
She is quite prolific.
Yeah, she's in loads of stuff.
Because she obviously because she's a good actress. I'm surprised, considering how good an actress she is, how often she seems to loiter at the bottom of the stream.
Yeah, it's true. She does seem to. She gets a lot of work, but she seems to be in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And maybe not. Well, maybe she's one of these underrated people we should have talked about a couple of weeks ago. She's been on the show before in I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Yeah.
Which I think was last season.
Yes, I believe so.
Maybe. They all roll into one, these films now. She's probably most famous. She was in Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
Yes.
It's a great film. Really, really good film. She's in Don't Look Up, which was the Netflix original last year.
Yeah, right at the top of the Netflix stream.
Yeah, very top. So maybe you're wrong. She's also in Yellow Jackets, which is currently a TV show that's currently on.
Riding high.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just that proliferation that she does so much work that
we just
not
hear
everything
all the time.
Can be
not
at the top
of
the stream.
Yeah, true. Also, this film stars a guy called Tim Sharp. He plays Todd.
Yes.
He has also been on the show before.
Oh, has he? That's interesting.
Oh, did you not know?
No, I didn't know.
What do you think he's in?
Bearing
in mind the genre.
Because...
And it's a long time ago.
Right, so before I have a guess, this guy, I thought he was good in this movie.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like... I couldn't get over how much he looked like... he's the guy in all the Wes Anderson films. Jason... What's his surname? Oh, god damn. I'm terrible with names.
I know who you mean as well, and I can't think of it either.
Because we were talking about Jason Bateman earlier. I've got Jason Bateman in my head, and it's not
Jason Sudeikis.
No.
Jason Lee.
No.
Jason Donovan.
You can tell me now his name's not even Jason.
David Jason.
Jason Schwartzman.
Yes.
Might have been the hair.
I was doing the same thing. I was like, you look just like somebody else, and I couldn't picture who it was. I'm like, I don't feel like this film was written for you.
Anyway.
Do you want to have a guess at what he's been in? It's a comedy from a long time ago on Bottom of the Stream.
Oh, it's not the one I was thinking of then. Because I was thinking of the Olivia Wilde Duplass one, where
the main. I'll give you a clue. The main character in this film has since been cancelled. The main actor in this film has since been cancelled.
Oh, the Chevy Chase one.
No. Further back than that, I think.
Oh God.
I think it was season 3.
Oh, now you're testing my memory. I don't know.
No? Do
No.
you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Tim Sharp is in Handsome, a Netflix mystery movie.
Oh, is he?
He is indeed. With the now
I
cancelled
forgot
Jeff
Garlin
Garland
had been cancelled.
He has been cancelled. Fully
Yeah.
cancelled. He was so much cancelled that they wrote him out of the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
And then they used CGI him in one of the wedding episodes, which apparently, if you check that out, is really funny. Because you can tell it's CGI. This one was written and directed by Linas Phillips, the guy who plays Shonzi.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
I didn't
he wrote
realise
it
that.
and directed it. He's quite an interesting guy.
Yeah.
He's not done a lot before. He's in Spree, which is the Netflix original we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But I've been on his website, linusphillips.com.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a blurb about him. So I'm going to read you the blurb about him rather than doing any research myself.
Nice. Nice.
Linas Phillips is a filmmaker, actor, and teacher. In 2006, he walked 1,200 miles to meet Werner Herzog.
Wow.
And he made a film about it.
Brilliant.
Documented it in his first film, Walking to Werner. His other films include Bass Ackwards, a 2010 Sundance Film Festival winner, and Rainbow Time. As an actor, Phillips has appeared in Twin Peaks, Eastbound and Down, Togetherness, and The Manson Family Vacation. As the screenplay doula, Phillips teaches a character-based form of screenwriting by applying techniques drawn from notable spiritual teachers and drama therapy.
Cool.
He's into like alternate comedy and alternate theatre,
Yeah.
sort of weird shit. Plays a very interesting character in this film.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, and he wrote and directed it. Which, when you know the character, is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Do you have a one-word review of Rainbow Time?
Family.
Family. Oh, that's nice for a Saturday morning.
Is it? Well, families can be weird, can't they?
This family can. This is a very weird family. Like, probably the weirdest family that's ever been put on film. Let's not beat around the
Dysfunctional.
bush.
That also would have
Weird.
sufficed.
Yeah, it's a strange one. This is. Where does this film start, Nick?
We're in a house. We're in a bedroom, more specifically. The bedroom's messy.
Yes, it is.
There's half-eaten donuts on the floor. There's sort of looks like toys.
Yeah,
it looks like a messy kid's bedroom.
it does indeed.
Except our kid is about 40.
Yes. I've
I-
got a question about the ages in this film.
Okay.
Because the synopsis says that he's about 40.
Yeah.
But that feels too old for the relationship with the other characters in the film who don't feel in their 40s.
Yeah, because I feel like they say Shonzi's like the younger brother.
Yeah. Which puts
But
Todd's character at like mid-40s.
Yeah, which
Which
I
is
don't
too
think
much.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. And this we meet Shonzi and he's preparing his video camera because he's going to record Rainbow Time, which appears to be his show,
His
that
TV show that he
hosts,
makes, yeah.
as a hobby,
Yes.
just for himself at home.
Yeah.
And we see him crayoning a sign, basically a cue card, a title card.
Yeah. Shonzi's a challenged character, I think, is
Yeah.
how you'd probably describe him.
That's how he's described in the film.
Yes.
They say he's not slow; he is challenged.
Yes.
Because it was a difficult birth.
Yeah, they do. I've got it in my notes.
Yeah.
They do mention what happened to him. We cut then to Lynskey and Todd, who are in bed together.
They're waking up.
They're waking up. They're kind of reminiscing about their past, even though they don't
How-
appear to
how
have
they
one.
met.
They're quite a new couple.
Yeah.
And then Todd's phone rings, and it's Shonzi. So he leaves to answer his phone. No, he doesn't answer his phone because Shonzi leaves him a voicemail.
Yeah.
Because we go back to Shonzi, who's leaving this voicemail.
And the voicemail's like, "Oh, look, I'm looking forward to meeting your new girlfriend when you come out later. Do you think she'd be up for doing some tasteful nudity
in my
in
film.
my movie?"
Yeah. They're basically, this is Shonzi's character from the off.
Yeah.
Shonzi is a pervert. So as they're driving over to the house, Lynskey and Todd are talking. And this is where he explains that Shonzi is not like, he uses the word retarded, which I don't like, but he didn't get enough oxygen in the womb. And then when he was younger, Todd ran him over
Yeah,
in
but
a
this
car.
was kind of the running over thing was kind of told for laughs.
Yes, it was.
Because he's like, he'll tell you, Todd, because it's the first time she's met his
Yeah, she's
family.
never
and
met the
And
family
Todd
before.
says, he's gonna tell you I ran him over.
Yeah.
And he says, "What I did, but what happened was I was messing around in my dad's car. I had no idea he was behind the car, and I let the handbrake off, and
Yeah.
it bumped him. And she's like, "How did you not see him?" And Todd said, "Well, because he was lying on the floor behind the car, humping the ground."
Because Shonzi's a pervert. This is where we're going with this. We cut back to Shonzi. He's waiting for them to turn up. Whilst he's waiting, he's got a couple of dolls. He's got a Fonz doll.
He's obsessed with the Fonz.
He's obsessed with the Fonz.
He thinks the Fonz, probably quite rightly, is the coolest person who's ever existed.
Which is true. His real name is Sean. And so they call him Shonzi because of Fonzie. And that's how it works. And he's got a naked girl doll as well. And he's doing sex acts on these two dolls together. And then he gets interrupted by Jigsaw.
Yeah. My jaw dropped.
Mine did as well.
Fucking Jigsaw walks in.
His name's quite a long way off on the IMDb list, so I hadn't got that far, so I didn't know he was in this. Tobin Bell plays the dad in this film. So he walked in, I was like, fuck me, that's Jigsaw. And then I can't get past that. As soon as I've seen Jigsaw in a film, Jigsaw's in this film. So all the way through, I don't have a clue what the character's called, because all the way through I was just calling him Jigsaw.
He was like Peter or something.
Yeah.
He's just dad. Yeah,
He's just dad. In my notes, he's Jigsaw. I'll be referring to him as Jigsaw all the way through. He gets interrupted and he's like, they're about to turn up. Can you stop making the funds suck off this? They're making this woman suck off the funds, please. Todd and Lynskey then show up. This is where we find out that she hasn't really met them before. She gets introduced to the dad, who's a lovely man.
He's very
much
old-fashioned. He's just polite, isn't he?
Yeah.
You're welcome in my house, you know.
I think he's quite happy that his son's got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Both of his sons are quite weird.
He says to Shanzi, look, can we just have a normal dinner? Don't do your
Todd's got this girlfriend.
stuff.
It doesn't happen very often by the sounds of it. They're both quite unusual kids. So they then start shooting a scene in this film.
One of my favorite lines was that, like, so Todd introduces Lynskey to his family. This is my dad.
Yeah.
This is my brother Sean.
Yeah.
Shanzi.
Yeah.
Arthur Shanzarelli.
Great.
Made me smile.
It was funny.
And the first thing Shanzi says is, "Oh yeah, I love my brother, except he ran me over once."
He did. Yeah, he did. Straight in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust getting in a car with him because he ran me over once. That's how he starts it. Then they do shoot a bit of a scene for his film. They're just like messing around with toy guns, running around the place like crazy people.
And then there's a whole bit about like the continuity of the movie.
Yeah,
because Todd's like, because Shanzi wants to wear the sunglasses Todd's had on, but they've already filmed a load of scenes, and,
he's not got them
Todd's
on.
like, the continuity's all out. Don't you care about?
You've just thrown these glasses at me in the last scene, and now you've got them on.
Yeah, but Shanzi's like, no, my character needs them. They're cooler glasses, and he doesn't care about the continuity, the detail.
While they're having dinner, Todd gives Shanzi his old phone. So I've just had a new phone. Do you want my old one?
Yeah,
it's an iPhone 5S, I think. And the first thing Shanzi says is, "Are there any videos or pictures of Lynskey on it?"
Yeah.
And Todd's like, "No, you fucking pervert."
Turns out he's got a good reason to ask that question.
Yes,
but we find out later.
We also find out at this point that Todd and Lynskey got together whilst Lynskey was still married.
She's going through a divorce.
She's currently going through a divorce.
They've only been together a few months.
Yeah, they were still together whilst Todd was banging her. Lynskey has a bit of a dance with Jigsaw.
Yeah.
They're quite bonding while the two brothers are talking.
They get on well, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Lynskey and the dad.
And Jigsaw's like, look, I'm going to call him Jigsaw, I'm sorry. Jigsaw's like, look, if you want to stay the night, you can both have a drink. We'll have a fun evening. You're quite welcome to stay over. And they agree. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll stay over, no problem. So Lynskey and Todd go off into their bedroom, presumably Todd's childhood bedroom.
Yeah.
And she starts performing a sex act on him.
They're pretty highly sexed, this pair.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, she's straight in there as soon as they get in there. The dad and Shanzi are still up. It's not like they've just gone into the room. And yeah, she starts blowing him.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not? So this is an adult show. I can say whatever I want. Then Todd notices out of the corner of his eye that Shanzi's filming this.
Why does no one shut a blind in this movie?
Ever. Nobody, they know what Shanzi's like, and yet they still leave the blinds open. Todd notices, so he stops Lynskey doing whatever she's doing, and he goes off to confront Shanzi.
Lynskey's very confused. She's like, why
is he just left halfway through this?
Yeah.
What I was doing.
But in credit to this film and this family, there's never any. Everyone's honest.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Todd's on a journey, but and I suppose it's partly because of the way Shanzi is. They're not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
Todd says, "Look, he was there recording us." So it's all out in the.
Yeah, he goes in and they start fighting, don't they, in the next scene, and he's trying to get the phone off him, and Lynskey comes in and Todd tells her exactly what happened, and he's like, "Right, we're going home. We're not going to stay the night now. We're going to go home," even though they've both been drinking.
But then it kind of calms down, and they don't do that.
No, they don't.
And they get the phone off Shanzi, and Lynskey and Todd kind of watch it back, and they laugh about it.
Yeah,
it's
funny.
Yeah. Lynskey is very open, and Todd calls her like sort of new age.
Yeah, she's very new age,
but she's just
crystals and oils and things.
But she's an open book, isn't it? She tells him everything. She's trying to encourage him to do the thing.
She explains to him at this point as well that she's very much anti-pornography. She's like, she's not into all of that. She doesn't believe in the way the women are treated in these films, and she feels like she's been exploited by this video that he's got. The next morning, Todd gets woken up again by his phone, and it's Shanzi calling him. But he ignores the phone. He doesn't take the phone call. And Lynskey tells Todd that he needs to get a grip on his anger. And this is the point where he shows her the video, and he's like, and she says, "Can you delete it?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'll delete it."
And he does. He
deletes it. But he also admits that he is quite turned on by watching it.
Yeah.
Then they appear to be, I've written here, they appear to be at a niece's birthday party.
Yeah.
which is just to introduce us to some more characters that we need later on.
Yeah, basically.
Because Todd's there for like 2 minutes. Shanzi's there. They've got like a pool. Yeah. Shanzi's there. There's a younger niece with her boyfriend and an auntie.
Yeah,
they've got a sister.
They've got an older sister who's moved. Well, I know Todd's moved out as well.
Yeah, but she lives with her daughter.
A nice house with a swimming pool.
Yeah, with her daughter. Her daughter's got a boyfriend. These are the only people who are at this party.
Yeah,
Shanzi's there just doing cannonballs into the pool.
Is their
Nina
sister.
And Lily?
Lily's their niece. Yeah.
Shanzi's just doing cannonballs into the pool while Lily's kissing with her boyfriend.
And Nina's doing the barbecue.
Yes, exactly. Todd turns up. He doesn't stay for very long.
He's got to go and collect Lynskey.
Yeah, because
what I thought was like a work meeting.
Me too. I've written Lynskey's at a work meeting, but she isn't. She's trying to get a divorce. Yeah, so lawyers, and we meet her ex-husband for the first time. This is Adam.
Yeah,
great name. It's also J. Duplass.
Shitty person.
Great name. Comes with the territory. This is J. Duplass's character, Adam. He shows up drunk. He's all dishevelled and drunk, and he doesn't want to sign these papers, and he refuses to sign these papers because he thinks Lindsay's trying to trick him into signing the papers.
He suspects that she was cheating on them when they were married.
Yes.
Which I don't think... Is that ever properly resolved?
Yeah, I think they do say that at the beginning. I think they've already had that conversation.
Right, okay.
I think she was cheating.
I wasn't quite clear.
Yeah. I think Todd says they were still together.
They were still married, but not... That's not the reason they split up, I don't think. But I don't know if it's ever...
It's kind of implied at the end that it was.
It was the
right at the that last conversation they have at the end. It's kind of implied, but we never actually told specifically. But he then leaves and doesn't sign the papers.
Yeah.
So Todd comes to pick her up, and she pretends that he's an Uber driver.
Yeah.
So that the husband doesn't know who this guy is.
She
even gets in the back of his car, which really confuses him. But she explains it all with why she's done that.
Meanwhile, at the barbecue, Shons is sketching what I've put is a questionable picture of his niece.
Yes.
Because she's by the pool in a bikini with a boyfriend.
Yeah, she's not very old. Probably, 15, 16?
Yeah, I would guess so.
He's drawn her with very big boobs. And, it's questionable. Even Todd questions it. He's like, dude, that's our niece. That's really weird. But Shonzi's a pervert. Later on that day... that's... It's harsh to say it.
I think that's a bit of a broad brushstroke because he's...
But the whole first half of this film is them trying to establish that.
Yeah. But it's because he has trouble dealing with the real world and he's...
And that comes out later on.
Got no filter and... Yeah.
Yeah. This is a film of two halves, if you ask me. The first half is the comedy half and the second half is the drama half. And there's a very real point where it flicks and gets good. I'm not into it at this point.
I understand what you're saying, but I do think it makes the second half better because you've spent some time. Nothing really happens, but you've spent time getting to know the characters. And we do often complain about a lot of the movies we see. Oh, they don't feel like real people. But at least these will. By the time we got to the like you say, the second half, I felt like, I know who these people are. They do feel like real people.
Yeah, some of their decisions are questionable, but
we'll come to one bit later on, which I thought, well, that kind of feels like it's undermined the good work from earlier.
I agree. I know exactly what scene you're talking about.
We'll come to that.
But I really struggled with I didn't think there were likable people in the first half of this movie. And then in the second half, they could become a little bit more likable.
I don't disagree with you on that, to be honest.
So we're getting there anyway. We're nearly there. Oh, later on that day, Lindsay and Todd are doing it again.
Yeah,
on the bed, and it wasn't really clear, but I think it was Todd imagined Adam was there.
Yeah, he
with
imagined
them
the
at the same time. And he was like getting involved as well.
Yeah,
and that put him off.
Yeah,
completely put him off, and he couldn't finish. He has this issue with finishing. And he basically pushes Lindsay off. He doesn't tell her why, but he's like, I can't finish. This isn't going to happen. He's having sexual issues. Shonzi then calls Todd again to talk about the film that they're making.
Yeah.
And Shonzi has a real argument with his dad, Jigsaw, at this point. But we also find out...
And this is where you see his real sort of childlike state, because his dad's like, look, you've got your chores to do. You need to tidy your room. And he reverts back to... He throws a tantrum.
Yeah, he does. He's like a child.
Yeah.
We reveal at this point as well, in a horrible scene, that Todd hasn't deleted the video.
No.
He still has
did. No, he did, but it's
on the cloud. He's managed to find it on the cloud. And he's in the bathroom alone with this video.
He's whacking it.
He is whacking it off. And he gets caught. Lynskey walks in on him. And she's, for a start, not happy that he's whacking it when he's just can't finish with her. And also that he's still got the video. So she's not happy for two reasons.
No, but
he explains
he
it by
confesses. He doesn't try to hide it. He says, yeah, you've caught me.
I'm just trying to see if
what
it still
are you
works.
watching? He says, this is what I'm watching. Yeah, I'm trying to see if it still works. And she's like, I'm not happy about this.
Yeah, she's annoyed, but she gets
But I appreciate you being honest.
Yeah.
And that's
one
of the reasons why I think we've got a good thing going here, sort of thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Jigsaw asks Shanzi to come and help him move something around in the garden.
Yeah.
Shanzi's like, no, I'm not coming to help you. You've got to apologise to me for shouting at me earlier. So Jigsaw tries to do it on his own.
Yes.
And has a heart attack whilst he's doing it.
Yes, he does.
Which Shanzi's still like, I'm not calling 911 until you apologise to me. He just refuses. But then he realises that some shit's gone down there. And he does. He calls an ambulance. And the next thing we know, we're in the hospital. Jigsaw's going to be okay. He's fine. But he's going to have to stay in hospital for a little bit. Shanzi's hitting on the nurse because this is what he does. And they...
Right, so it's any time any woman talks to him.
Yeah, basically anybody. Apart from one, which we'll get to. And we realise now, their family realise now that somebody needs to look after him. So he's either got to go and live with Nina, or he's got to go and live with Todd.
Correct.
Because he can't live on his own. Nina can't have him, she's too busy. So he needs to go and live with Todd. And Todd and Lynskey have a bit of a chat about it, and they agree, look, we'll take him in. It's going to be an issue, it's going to be a problem, but we'll sort it out. And this girl at this point must be thinking, I've only been in the relationship with this guy for a few months. What have I taken on here? Shanzi storms off. He's not happy about having to go and live with Todd either. Cause,
he's like, I can look after myself. I'm nearly 40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Todd then confides in Shanzi that he can't finish during sex.
He says, I think I'm depressed.
I think I'm depressed and I can't finish what I've started.
Yeah.
And Shanzi, he makes Shanzi promise not to say anything. So we all know where this is heading.
Yeah, exactly.
They go home, they have some dinner together. Shanzi thinks that nurse from the hospital's into him.
Yeah. And they're getting a conversation
she clearly wasn't.
again. Yeah. He's like, well, she was playing it with her hair. That means she likes me. And Lynskey's like, look, you can't objectify women like this.
Yeah.
Just because a woman pays you some attention or says hello, it doesn't mean,
Yeah.
that she wants to have sex with you or,
So they get onto the conversation that they need to establish some boundaries in the house. But then, as soon as they've had that, we need to establish some boundaries. Lynskey allows Shanzi to give her a back rub.
Yeah.
Knowing who this guy is.
Yeah, because she's like, well, no, I think it'd be good for him because it shows him that, you can have contact and conversations without it being a sexual thing.
Yeah. And he does it, and he's quite good at it. She's quite happy with it, and she's
like, if you do it as a friend, then it's a good step for me.
Which he does, and he gives her a nice back rub, and eventually she leaves, and Todd... Oh, he then says to Todd,
I've warmed her up for you. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is going this direction. But then Todd lets him video them. Or he allows him to video them doing what they're going to do tonight. And I'm like, why? What? Why?
Yeah,
but then it's revealed that he's done it before.
Yeah.
Because with Todd's ex, he used to video them having sex. That's a real weird family dynamic that these people have got at this point. But also, so Todd goes to the bedroom and they have a bit of a chat. And he reveals that he doesn't want to leave Lynskey and Shanzi alone together. He's got to go to work the next day. And he's like, I'll take him to work with me. I don't want you two being alone together. He doesn't. And Lynskey thinks he doesn't trust her, but it's obviously Shanzi he doesn't trust.
Well, also, I think he is a bit like, no, you only met this guy a few days ago and now you've got to babysit him.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of all that.
And then Lindsay's like, look, if it's going to help you finish, do you want to take some pictures of me with my boobs out? And he's like, yeah, hell yeah. So he does. He starts taking some pictures of her. Shanzi's at the window watching all of this go down.
Blinds are still open.
Blinds are open. Lindsay's not even learned this lesson. But then the neighbour interrupts him.
Yeah.
We've met the neighbour once before. We've not mentioned it, I don't think. Her name is Justine.
Yes.
And she has a disabled dog. And she's got a very similar personality to Shanzi, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
But she's the only woman in this film that he doesn't flirt with.
Exactly.
He doesn't even see her as a woman, I don't think. I don't think he even recognises the fact that she's a woman.
I'd have liked more of her in this movie.
Me too. And she's like, She doesn't question why he's looking in his brother's bedroom.
No,
window.
well, she does, and he says, "Oh, I'm doing a project."
Yeah,
it's
which
like,
she's fine with. She's happy with.
Yeah, she doesn't ask any follow-up questions.
But then straight away she's like, we should hang out sometime. We should be friends. We can hang out.
And Shanzi's like, well, I can't. I've got a girlfriend.
She's called Cindy Crawford.
Yeah, and then runs
and then
off.
just runs away. And yeah, it was very strange. Then we see Shanzi pleasuring himself to a picture of Lynskey, which is also strange.
And then I didn't really understand this. He has like a weird, sexy / family issues dream.
Yeah.
And all people are like coming, like jumping in and out of this.
It's a nightmare dream sequence.
And then there's a load of butterflies, and then he wakes up on the patio outside.
Yeah, he wakes up outside. Yeah, I thought that was really strange. It was really weird. Really
it's the only time like he wakes up outside, like he's been sleepwalking.
It's got like a sleepwalking thing going on. Todd, they then argue that morning as well, and Todd uses the R word. He calls him a retard, which he does not like at all. And Lynskey walks in whilst this argument's going on, and Shanzi's like, "He's just called me a retard," and Todd says it was because you were being filthy about Lynskey again, and I'm not having it. I don't want you to be like that about my girlfriend. But Lynskey makes Todd apologise to Shanzi.
Yeah, so there's no excuse for that language.
Yeah, exactly. And then she says, "Look, Shanzi, you can stay home with me. We'll have a day together. We'll get to know each other." Todd go to work, which is not what Todd wanted. He couldn't understand it. So they do. They sit at home and have a day together.
She like gives him a tour, I guess, of like all the crystals. And
she shows him all the crystals and oils that she deals with.
Because she makes her own oils.
Yeah, essential oils.
Yeah.
And then she shows him a video that she's made on the internet. And it's basically a video of a lady walking silently through the streets of
I've seen
LA.
this sort of thing before.
Yeah, this sort of thing does exist on the internet.
Yeah, so it's from a lady's point of view of like just walking down the street, actually being harassed, wolf whistled,
catcalled.
How are you doing? All this sort of stuff.
Yeah, and what women have to put up with.
It's a good video.
Yeah, it is. And this one guy follows her for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Just trying to get, and she never speaks. She just keeps walking. Yeah. And this guy's, and Shanzi's like, "What are they doing?" There's like,
it opens his eyes.
It does. It really does. It changes his opinion on things, I think. And then the next thing we know, we're in the park.
Well, they decide, let's do our version of this.
Yeah, let's go and interview women in the park.
Lynskey thinks it's a good idea because it will help him. Plus, it's another sort of video to add to her because I think she's some sort of ad.
Yeah.
Type marketing person.
Yeah, something along those lines. So she helps him film an episode of Rainbow Time, which we've established earlier as his TV show.
Yeah.
And he goes out to the park and basically interviews.
This was actually a really good sequence.
It was. It
was genuinely interesting, and like the vox pops they were doing with the passers-by, I was like, this is better than most of these actual news reports and this sort of show.
It's basically interviewing pretty women about what their experiences of walking alone in the streets are.
Yeah, he's like, have you ever suffered from this harassment? And
all of
everyone
them
is like, yeah.
But then once they finished interviewing,
he's a really good host as well.
He is, yeah. He's quite friendly and personable and engaging.
But then he messes it up right at the end.
He does. Just as the camera stops rolling, he hugs one of the women to thank her for doing it.
Yeah.
And then doesn't let her go.
So he really invades her space.
He really does. And he's like, we should hang out sometime. And she freaks out and she calls him a freak and runs off.
And he's now sad and confused because he thought he was just being nice.
Yeah, he thought he was being friendly.
But he's a big guy.
He's a big, imposing, scary guy. So Lynskey kind of explains that to him, and I think he kind of gets it. Yeah. She kind of explains, look, you can't be doing that sort of thing.
It's a handshake or
thank you for coming on, that sort of thing. On the way home, they meet up with the neighbour again, just as she's passing by as they get home. She tries to flirt with him again. He's having none of it. And then Lynskey's like, well, why don't you interview Justine? Yeah. And he's like, what, the same we were doing before? And he's like, yeah, just see what her experience is. So he does. And when she says, yeah, I get it all the time. People wolf whistle, people catcall. And he's like, what? Really?
But you're ugly.
But you're ugly. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it did make me lose a lot of sympathy for Shanzi.
Yeah, I think it did. And I think this is the point where the film turns. I think this is where it becomes
it's like he hasn't learned.
The drama half, because he hasn't learned anything. And he never... he gets redemption by the end, but... Can you say he's not a nice guy? Because he doesn't know.
Is anyone a nice guy?
No, I don't think so. And he's not.
And maybe that's why it's all right, because they do feel like people, because everyone in this movie makes mistakes.
Yeah, even the dad, because that gets revealed in the next. Yeah, and especially
Lynskey.
Lynskey. Yeah,
they are all fallible characters.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the next scene, they go to visit Jigsaw, who's still in hospital. And it comes out that Jigsaw taught him to be this confident guy because he thought, like, this is what you need to be because of who you are.
Yeah.
You need to be this super
need this
confident.
bravado because you're going to find the world's going to be especially difficult for you.
Yeah. And this is why he is the guy that he is.
And he chose Fonzie as his sort of role model, I guess.
Yeah. So they're like, shall we have a family photo? So Shanzi and Todd get in with their dad, and Lindsay's got the camera. And this point, I thought, Shanzi knows what he's doing here. He's making a decision to reveal what he reveals at this point. Because he says, be careful with that camera. That picture, it'll go next to the picture of your boobs last night.
Yeah.
And then he tells her about the videos that he used to make for his ex-girlfriend, Todd's ex-girlfriend as well. And that felt mean. It
felt like he was sabotaging his brother's relationship.
Which felt a little bit out of character.
Calculated.
It was that's a good word. It was calculated. He knew what he was doing. And it was
like,
everything else.
It felt like, I don't know if that was the aim, but it felt like he'd waited until this to drop it at the time when it would cause the most, because they were all around his dad's bedside. Everyone was together in that room.
Yeah.
This is the time to drop this bombshell.
Everything else that Shanzi's done in this film to this point, you can kind of explain away with like sweet innocence.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that here. And it did feel really calculated and mean what he did. And it kind of really put me off the character. This is the point where I was like, I've lost sympathy for this guy now. Because he's been horrible now in the last two scenes. Not just like because of who he is. He's just a mean guy. And it kind of put me off him. But Lindsay is fuming. She is not happy in the slightest.
No, and I'm on a bit of a roller coaster here because obviously she's mad.
Yeah. And
then I thought, not that I agree with what Todd's done, but he almost brought it back here.
He did, yeah. And I think he did for Lindsay as well.
And she said, again, thank you for being honest. All I can say is, I can see that you're really growing as a person. Because Todd says, look, the reason I did these videos with my ex is because when my mother died, Shanzi went into what we called solitary.
Yeah,
thought we were going to lose him. Yeah. He didn't speak. He didn't eat. He
locked himself in his room for weeks on end.
And he said the only thing that broke him out was when he saw these videos. He doesn't go into details if Todd volunteered them to him or was it an accident. Lizzie says, well, that's really weird. She says, I kind of understand, but that's really weird because you keep telling him and you telling me that we need to treat him like a normal person. But you guys don't treat him like a normal person.
That's not a normal thing for a family to do.
And that has become expected behaviour.
Yeah.
And you're like part of the problem.
Yeah. If not the whole problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really,
true.
Yeah, it is. It's really...
Shanzi's like he is because of the way he's been brought up by his family. And then, I didn't understand what they were doing here, but they film him standing at the window.
She wants to make a follow-up video to like... the women walking down the street one, basically, and she said, oh, maybe he can be in it because he's quite based. But then I thought this was quite exploitative of her because she's based on, look, he's quite creepy.
Yeah.
So let's get some shots of him at the window and
being creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it will help him we'll show him why it's not okay.
Yeah.
But it'll also be my next video that can go out to, wherever she releases it.
I'm falling out of love with quite a lot of these people at this point.
And they kind of go they're trying to do a funny sequence, aren't they? Where they're trying to direct Shanzi, but he's acting in inverted commas. So his creepy
trying to
acting is like he's got his tongue out, he's panting, and they're like, no, just blank.
Just be yourself, basically. You are creepy, but it's natural.
So they're trying to do this comedy bit again, and it's like, well, this is a really weird situation.
Yeah. The last 10 minutes of this film have been really nasty and horrible. And then Lindsay's like, right, I want to interview you now, Todd, because I want to get to the bottom of your weird foibles.
And so we're jumping around it because I actually thought, that last 10 minutes has been weird and nasty. And then this little section here suddenly becomes like, oh, you're both doing really good acting here.
Yeah.
And like, your characters just in this one scene are both like growing.
Yeah.
Todd and Lynskey here. This gets real, this conversation.
Yeah, because she interviews Todd about asking him why he likes watching himself on film, and
what's the attraction of the pornography?
Why does this turn you on, and that sort of thing. And he's like, it's a weakness. And then this is the point where we find out that he did cheat on her, because he compares it to how she must have felt when she was cheating on him.
Yeah,
with her husband, cheating with him on her husband.
And he says,
it's like the same thing. It's
and then he says,
the thrill.
I'm worried that if you will leave me, because I'm not a good person.
Yeah,
and I don't understand. I don't think I've got anything to offer you.
Yeah.
But at least if I have some videos when you leave, he's not like if, he's like when you leave me, I'll at least have something to.
Yeah, you'll always be here.
You'll be here.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh.
But it really turns her on.
Yeah.
She grabs his arm and they literally run to the bedroom and just leave Shonzi sitting in front of this camera. And then something even weirder happens. So these two are in their room trying to get it on, get down to it. And Shonzi pretends that he started a fire in the house.
He's outside the door, literally trying to stop.
He's setting pieces of paper. Yeah, cock block him. Setting pieces of paper on fire and wafting the smoke under the door, saying, "I've started a fire." That's really. And then so Todd jumps out of the room, realizes there's not actually a fire. What the fuck are you doing? Shonzi goes into the room. He's like, I've had an idea for the film. I want to film a dream sequence, which is weird because they've just done a weird dream sequence as a callback, but of me and Lynskey kissing. And they're like, "What about these boundaries?"
Yeah,
which you.
Sounds like if you know nothing, you're insane. You're just sabotaging me. And he's
But Lynskey then
kind of sides with Shonzi.
She doesn't say no.
Yeah,
which freaks Todd out.
Tell him no.
Yeah, just tell him no. You're allowed to say no to this guy.
He's manipulating us. He's not stupid.
Yeah,
he's
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to say no to it. She doesn't want to do it, but she also doesn't want to say no to him.
She's like, yeah, we'll think about it.
And Todd ends up pushing Shonzi over, pushes him into the wall. And he's like, right, come on, grab your stuff. I'm taking you to Nina's. I can't have you here anymore.
And this is a bit I didn't like for Lynskey's character.
Yeah.
Because she just isn't about 10. She says, well, that's it. I've had enough of this relationship.
I'm done
actually. Now. That was it. You pushing him. I'm like, literally 2 minutes ago, you were like in the most in love being honest with
we've ever seen you be.
And she's like, oh, I think actually I've not had much time to myself since I split up with my ex. I'm like, what this? I've literally written, that's quite the about turn.
yeah, it really is. And so she's like, right, I'm going to go back to my place, which we've never seen. We didn't even know she had a place. So Todd takes Shonzi over to Nina's house. Lynskey goes back to her own house.
This all happened too fast.
Yeah, it really did.
Because this movie has gone like slow, explode.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 10 minutes left to wrap it up.
Yeah. And it takes another turn here now because these people become nice again.
Yeah.
And it's really jarring.
Yeah.
It's like
the pacing's off.
Completely off. So Todd, before Lynskey goes, Todd and Lynskey have a bit of and he basically begs her not to go. But she goes anyway. She's within 2 minutes falling out of love with him. He drops Shonzi off at Nina's it's the middle of the night. Yeah. With everybody's in bed.
You get the impression Nina's used to this.
Yeah, she's
like
it's
being
happened
the
before.
on-call carer.
But just before Todd leaves, Shonzi apologizes. He's like, "I know I'm a jealous guy. I'm sorry for that." And then he says the line, "I know I will die alone in a group home."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's really like tugging at my heartstrings now.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do now. You're trying to get me to win back this character. But Todd's not having any of it. He's like, you need to stop doing the pity party shit.
You're why she's left.
Yeah, you're the reason. He says, stop doing the pity party shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, okay. You're developing my characters now. I'm happy with this bit. And he said, you're the reason she left. You're the whole reason this has happened. It's not on me. It's not on Lynskey. It's all on you. Which makes him cry, and he does cry. And as he cries, Todd just leaves and goes. And then it's the next day. And everybody seems happy again.
Well,
Nina's out. Nina's about to go out. Shonzi's out on the patio, pool area, no shirt on, lifting weights.
I liked this exchange. It was just a funny little exchange between Nina and Shonzi.
Yeah.
And she's like...
It's their first real scene together.
Yeah, she was good for the little time she was in it. The older sister. And she's like, you need to put some sun cream on. Yeah. He's like, no, I'm getting a base coat. And she's like, you're full of freckles. That's your base coat. Put some sun cream on.
Yeah. He's the whitest man in the history of the world.
Back and forth. And then Nina says, Lily's in the pool house.
Yeah.
Right? Just keep an eye on her. One rule, no boys.
You can't leave Shonzi in charge of people.
No.
Well, I don't know what she's thinking. It's like she's never met this guy before in her life. Unfortunately, Lily is in the pool house.
And there's already a boy there.
And there's already a boy there. This is her boyfriend, Jake. And Chauncey notices. He walks in on them. He's like, Nina, you need...
He's taking Nina's instructions literally.
So he's like, Lily, you need to come out here on the outside.
Yeah.
If he's going to stay here, I need to be able to see you, which is fair. He's the adult of the situation. But she doesn't take him seriously. Lily kicks him out, locks the door, locks him out. And...
They don't shut the blind.
They don't shut the blinds. Because even teenage kids don't shut the blinds in this film. And Jake gets a bit handsy with Lily.
Yeah.
They're kissing and he's like forcing
himself. She pushes him away a couple of times.
Yeah. And
Chauncey's watching the whole thing.
Yeah, and he's trying to force himself onto her basically. And Chauncey's watching it through the window. And he goes all badass, breaks the door down kicks the door in. And he ends up punching Jake in the face.
Well, he does, but there's a bit of
argy-bargy.
He only punches him because Jake calls him a retard.
Yeah,
and that's like the trigger word.
Yeah. And there is a bit of an argy-bargy. They're pushing each other, and eventually Chauncey punches him in the face. And the next thing we know is the place is crawling with cops.
Yeah, Jake's dad's here.
Jake's dad's there. Nina's there.
Back. Todd's arriving.
Yeah, Todd's just turning up.
They're trying to
establish what happened.
Statement.
So Jake's like, he just broke the door down and punched me in the face, nothing else.
And the policeman says, did you provoke him?
Yeah, and he's like, no.
Yeah, he just lies.
Absolutely no. And Lily backs him up.
Yeah.
Lily's like, no, he just broke the door down.
Chauncey's claiming his innocence, and Lily doesn't back him up. Yeah, she says, no, I think you've just got confused.
Yeah, I think you've got confused. And
the kid's dad is like obnoxious.
He's like, we're going to press charges, 100%.
I want this guy hauled away.
Yeah, next time he could have a knife.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I think if he's his kid.
Yeah, but he's not got the whole information.
No, he hasn't.
Todd and Nina cuff Chauncey.
Before that, Todd and Nina have a conversation.
Yeah, like, what are we
going to do? And Todd's like, I think we need to let him get arrested. I think he needs to learn this lesson that you can't.
Again,
because they don't believe it. They don't know the whole information, but they don't believe his side of the story. Because why would they? He's an established liar. He has been all the way through the film. So they do. They let him get arrested. He gets cuffed. He gets taken to the back of a police car.
And he starts shouting, I saved her, I saved her.
He's begging, basically. Yeah. He's like, I'm not in the wrong here.
Yeah. He's scared. He's really
terrified.
Scared. And I saved her. I've not done anything wrong.
Yeah.
And he starts shouting, he called me a retard. He called me a retard.
Yeah. Just as she's about to be pushed into the back of the cop car, Lily speaks up.
Yeah.
And she changes her story and she's like, no, he didn't do anything wrong. This is what's actually happened. And I presume then the cops just go, okay, fair enough, and let him go.
Well, yeah, because the next we see Chauncey, he's
just standing by the pool,
gazing across the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And he won't talk to Todd.
He won't talk to Todd. Todd tries to talk to him, and he just won't have it. He's like, you can even come home with me now.
Chauncey's black and white, isn't he? He's like, well, you didn't believe me, so I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, you're done. And he walks away. He literally walks away. Todd goes home on his own, calls Lynskey, doesn't get any answer from Lynskey.
No, but he leaves he's not trying to get back with her. His message is literally, look, there's a load of your stuff still here. Yeah. If you want to come and get it, just let me know.
Or just come and talk to me and we'll try and work this out. But she's in the middle of actually getting officially divorced. She's back in with her lawyers.
Papers get signed.
Todd, Adam signs the papers. Chauncey's locked himself in his room at Nina's house.
Yeah, Nina says, oh, come on, we don't want Chauncey solitary again.
I'm fed up with Chauncey solitary. And when we get a quick scene of Todd deleting the video from his phone, the blowjob video, and we go back to the hospital and Jigsaw's packing up. He's ready to go home.
Yeah.
He's happy. He's recovered from his heart attack. And who should turn up? Lynskey.
Yeah.
Lynskey's like, I just wanted to pop in to make sure you're okay.
She said, I wanted to say goodbye.
Yeah, basically.
She said, me and Todd we've had an
argument.
We've split up.
They wanted to come and say bye. Because they'd bonded a little bit, hadn't they, her and their dad?
Yeah, and she gives him a oil blend.
Yeah, she's like, I blended these oils. This will be really
good for your heart.
Yeah. And he sits her down and he's like, look, we need to talk about...
No, he just says, what's wrong? Do you want to talk about
let's talk about Todd. And he says he has some quite sage advice here for an old boy.
She's been obviously doing some self-reflection as well, because she kind of tells him what happens, but she also says, I'm scared of making... I've literally just signed my divorce papers. I'm scared of making the same mistake again.
Yeah. And he says, in his experience, his worldly experience, the only relationships that work are when one person accepts the other for who they are and vice versa. Yeah. You can't change people. Yeah. You've just got to accept.
He says sometimes you just got to love people for who they are.
Yeah. And she kind of accepts that. And she's like, oh, that's a very good point, Mr. Wise Old Serial Killer Man. Todd goes to visit Chauncey. He's like, right, let's finish this movie. I've got an idea
It's
for
his way of apologising.
Yeah, it's like,
I've got a movie idea.
it's a great idea. It's
Yeah.
about an asshole brother who is mean to his brother, and also they're both ninjas.
Yeah. But I don't know how to end the movie.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
And Chauncey's like, I think I'm probably going to have to hit you.
Yeah, he says the good brother should hit the asshole brother.
And Todd's like, fine. So then Chauncey hits him on the arm. And he's like, oh, and he should probably cut his dick off.
Yeah.
And Todd's like, if you want to cut my dick off, cut my dick off. That's fine. And they do. They make up. They have a bit of a hug.
They say they love each other. They have they apologise to each other. They hug.
Yeah.
Todd says, come on, let's go and shoot some scenes.
Yeah. So,
and he leaves his phone behind.
Yeah, Todd walks out of the room.
That's not gone well so far. Chauncey does something on
Yeah, we
Todd's
don't know what he does with his phone, but he does do something with it. And then there's a few
This
scenes.
was the best bit of the movie.
Okay. Talk me through it.
This sequence of them filming this new bit of movie, I thought was the best bit of the movie.
Even Jigsaw's in it.
Yeah. So the next shot was the best shot of the movie. So their dad, Jigsaw, comes back into the living room.
Yes.
He's just arrived home.
Yeah.
Puts his bag down.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this in the way the rest of this normal movie shot.
Yeah.
And he grabs at his chest.
Yeah, as if he's having another heart attack.
Yeah, he's literally just walked through the door. He's having a heart attack. But then we sort of zoom back and we're into the video camera footage.
Yes.
And we're realising he's acting.
Yeah.
And they've persuaded Dad to
be
join
in the movie.
Yeah. I thought it was great.
It was great because he's the only good actor in this movie. So he kind of lying on the couch.
Death scene.
Yeah, he's kind of a dying
his
scene.
His character's death scene. And he bestows this like sword to Chauncey's character in this movie that they're making, a movie within a movie. And he also gives him his leather jacket. He says, you must wear this leather jacket that's made me as cool as I am from this, till my dying day. And they cut, and he's like, oh, I'm really having fun.
They cut because the camera breaks.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with the camera.
Yeah, they need a new VCR in there.
And Jigsaw's like, I'm having a great time here. And Chauncey kind of looks at him and he apologises for being a disappointment to him.
Yeah.
And Jigsaw, for a start, can't figure out if he's in character or not, but he isn't.
Yeah.
And Jigsaw's like, you're not a disappointment for me. You're the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, he says, you're a pain in my ass.
Yeah.
But you're not a disappointment. Yeah. He says, you what did he say? You help look after your mother.
Yeah.
And you're helping look after me.
Yeah.
And this is quite emotional.
Yeah, it is, that bit. And then they go back straight into redoing the rest of the scene.
Yeah, because Todd's like,
Todd sticks the camera
ready.
Yeah. And
his death is brilliant.
His death is brilliant. It really is. So he says the last thing you need to after I die, you and your brother need to rekindle your relationship and
rule the
kingdom as together as brothers. And Chauncey's character's like, well, I chopped his dick off. So Jigsaw goes, have mine. And he brings out this plush dick from under the blanket.
It's like knitted wang.
Yeah, knitted wang. It's massive. And he's like, give that to your brother and all will be forgiven. And that's the end of that scene.
He dies.
He dies. Yeah, he does die. He's like,
and then Chauncey's character just goes, okay, bye.
No remorse, no guilt, no nothing. I've written here, I'd rather watch that than Apocalypse, please.
Yeah. I'd love to watch this movie.
I'd love to watch that, but I'd rather watch that than any of the things at the bottom of the stream table this season. Then
there's like a ninja training montage.
Yeah, they go and have their fight sequence, don't they? The two brothers are rekindling. And this bit's weird.
This whole bit of their movie within a movie was really good.
It was really good, but this bit of this movie within a movie is weird.
Yeah.
Because he gets the dad's dick out and attaches it to his brother.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
Because he's like, we want to rule together, and Todd's character's like, I can't, I've got no dick.
Yeah.
So Chauncey pulls out this woven dick.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't worry, we'll attach. So Todd pulls his trousers down and he's got these shorts on.
Yeah, with fake pubes on.
Yeah,
and balls, but no dick.
Woolen pubes. So Chauncey gets down on his knees and he attaches this knitted dick. But he's like, it doesn't work.
Yeah. And he's like, you've got to give it the kiss of life.
Yeah.
So he's got kissing his brother's dick. So weird. And just as they're kissing, just as he's doing that.
Yeah, because Todd's like, give it mouth to mouth.
Yeah. And just as he's doing that, Lynskey walks around the corner.
Yeah.
She's quite surprised by what she's walked in on. She's like, what the fuck am I looking at? And she's like, can we have a chat? Oh, no, she's like, you text me. I'm here to talk.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't text you. And Chauncey's like, that was me. I text you. I've arranged all of this. And then he says something that redeems his whole character in this film because he goes, I'll leave you to it. I'm going for a walk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Gives them some space.
That's nice. That's not the Chauncey that I know. So he gives them some space to sort some stuff out, which they do. Lynskey apologises to him for dragging him through the whole divorce procedure.
I told her, like, honestly, I don't mind. I said, I felt I was helping you.
Helping you through this made me feel worthy, but now I've got nothing to offer.
Yeah.
And Lindsay's like, you are the best person I've ever met, blah, blah, blah. I'm in love with you. That's rubbish. You're awesome, is what she says. Yeah. And that's kind of where we leave them getting back together.
They held hands.
Yeah.
And
we never see
there's
them
hope
again,
for the future, I guess.
We leave them getting back together. And we go back to Shanzi, who's basically just walking the streets.
Yeah.
And he bumps into Justine, the next door neighbour.
Yeah. With Pizza the dog.
With Pizza the dog, yeah. Great name for a dog. And he apologises to her for calling her ugly. He apologises badly. He's not very good at this.
And she's so blunt. She just says, look, if we're going to hang out, you need to know when to stop talking.
Yeah. Which is
and he's like, it's like, oh,
okay.
It's like no one's spoke to him like that. I don't think before.
And then they walk off into the sunset together,
just laughing and
joking,
friends.
and walking the dog.
Yeah.
And the film ends.
Yeah.
And then there is a post-credit scene.
There is, yeah.
It's not. There's nothing to it. It's just a random other clip from their movie.
Yeah.
Of him chopping a bagel open with a ninja star.
Yeah.
Basically, that's all.
And
it was.
the woven dick is coming to life.
Yeah. It comes back to life. God. And that's the end.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Parts of it I really liked. I think in general I liked it.
Yeah.
I really like the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, the ending kind of redeems it.
But I don't know if it's enough because I think it's the pacing. The pacing is just off.
It's
because I'm kind of the first 45 minutes to an hour, kind of what I expected, a slow sort of mumbly core. You know, we've seen this sort of movie before. I kind of thought I knew what I was getting in for. Character piece. I think the acting's good, so that's good. Getting into these characters, but then it just when the events happen to set everyone against each other, it's just too quick.
It is. There's parts of this movie that are great. There's parts of this movie that are bang awful.
Yeah.
Right, really.
It's
bad.
uneven.
It's really uneven. The first half's a comedy and the second half isn't.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of laughs in the second half until you get to the last 10 minutes when it is again. And
the whole thing by the pool with Lily's boyfriend, it happens too quickly, it's over too quickly, it's resolved too quickly. We don't play the drama, we don't capitalise on the drama that's caused, I didn't feel.
No, I agree. Those characters really felt like a unnecessary addition. They didn't need to be there. That even the sister character didn't need to be there. But I don't know. There's something about it that I just really don't like. There's something there that's like there's a real undertone of nastiness in this film, and I don't really know what it is. But there's parts of it I really don't like about it. There's something there that's like great.
I felt quite sorry for Todd.
Yeah,
at times,
but then at other times you're like, this guy's a dick.
No, but he had massive issues.
Yeah,
but the thing, they all seem to pick on him for like having anger issues.
Yeah,
but we never really saw that.
No, he never really.
Because the time when I'm not saying I don't advocate that he pushed. It was only a light shot he gave Shanzi.
Stumbled over,
but he fucking deserved it.
Of course he did. He was pretending to set the house on fire, and he wanted to do a scene where he's kissing Todd's girlfriend. I mean.
I think for my main issue is for the first, like I say, 45 minutes an hour, these felt like well drawn out characters who I thought, okay, I get what you're about. You feel like a real person, which is again a criticism we have a lot in the show. And then that was kind of all in reverse. That was unravelled for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then was tried to be put back in the box for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was really tough for me to try and.
Yeah, I agree.
Get on board with.
Yeah, it was.
But
there's some strange decision making going on.
I didn't hate this film. Overall, there's parts of it I really liked.
I didn't hate it.
It's got some strong performances.
I didn't hate the film as a whole. There's parts of this film I really did hate. But overall, I don't think I hated it, but I also didn't like it. There's something there that's not nice about it.
There is a bit of a nasty streak in there.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tobin Bell is head and shoulders better than everybody else in it, and it really shows. He's just such a good actor. It showed everybody else up.
I think the three
guys are really good.
But I think they were let down by the writing.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really...
one of them did the writing.
Yeah, I know. But I don't think you can really criticise
I'm not criticising them for being bad. I just think he's so much better.
But he gets in to come in and save the day, doesn't he? And he gets
his character's really good in it. And it really took me out of the moment when he just showed up. And I'm like, wow, Jigsaw's in this film. And the whole divorce thing, that character that Jay Duplass plays is unnecessary. It's like he's in 2 scenes and it's like we don't need that. There's quite a lot of this film you could cut out, but then what are you left with when you do?
Yeah,
that's a good way of putting it. I think. What's the best thing?
I think there's a lot of promise here.
Yeah, it just doesn't live up to it.
What's the best? I think the best thing about it is the acting. So I think there's no one is bad in this. And sometimes when you say, "What do you want next week for a film?" I say, "I just want to see some good performances."
Yeah.
So I don't have to just throw people under the bus like he was shit, she was shit.
Yeah.
Everyone does a good job in this.
Yes.
The issues aren't with the performances. So it's nice to see a good cast doing a good job.
Yeah. I guess my main thing is it necessary? This is a snapshot of these people's lives. We see like 4 days of these people's lives. But they've got lives before and after this. And do I need to see these 4 days of these people's lives? Do I care?
Well, it's almost we're with Lynskey, aren't we?
Yes.
Because it's the first time she's met them. So her introduction to this family is our introduction as the...
Yeah.
So it's framed not from her point of view, but
But she's met this family for the first time.
We're meeting them the same time that she is.
She should be running a mile.
Yeah.
In the first few days, the brothers tried to hit on her 100 times, and the dad's had a heart attack.
She says herself, doesn't she? That is kind of acknowledged because there's a couple of times where she says, I'm straight out of my divorce.
But she just loves Todd for some reason.
Yeah.
What would you change about it? I think you've got to tighten it up, tighten that.
We've got to even it out a bit.
Yeah.
I think if we knock off 10 minutes in that first half, and just pull everything just even everything out. So
you've got to.
Act 3 is just, it's so crammed together.
Yeah, but it's also the best bit of the film. It's how that nasty streak disappears in that final act.
Yeah,
and that's what you've got to do. You've got to pinpoint what that nasty streak running through this film is and get rid of it.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it is, but there's something there, and it isn't there at the end. So at some point, you've got to pick up on it and lose it.
I think we can lose.
It really put me off.
I think we can lose a bit at this in the first act, and we can keep it the same length, but you can shift 10 minutes more into resolving the whole Shanzi's been arrested and that Yeah, so I think there's more drama to be had out of that.
The pacing's all over the place, and you've got to find what that nasty piece is because something in there is just horrible. Cool. Stream table. Final film going into season 7 stream table.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read through the whole thing?
Well, I think you should.
Probably should, shouldn't I? So currently, at the bottom of the stream is Apocalypse Please. At 23rd is The CEO. At 22nd is Setup. At 21 is 8 Remains. 20 is Target. 19 is Endangered Species. 18 is Hard Times. 17, Prisoner of the Lost Universe. 16, Comes a Bright Day. 15, The Land of Steady Habits. 14 is Intrusion. 13 is The Part You Lose. 12 is All at Sea. 11 is Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Not that one. 10 is Robot Overlords. 9 is XOXO. 8 is Bodycam. 7 is Pentagram. 6 is The Trip. Top 5, Ghosts of War at number 5. Summit of the Gods at number 4. Last Man Down at number 3. Lockout is at number 2. And currently at the top of the stream is Wheelman. Last week's film.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that Wheelman has won this season's stream table?
Congratulations, Wheelman.
Congratulations to Wheelman. Where does this go?
I've got 2 options for this.
Go on, hit me.
So, I think this either goes 9th.
Okay.
Or it goes 7th.
Oh, okay. You're high there.
So, I think it sneaks into the top 10. Because I think it's better than Robot Overlords. I think it's better than XOXO. And I'm thinking, on strength of performances, does it get past Pentagram and Bodycam? But I don't think it does as an overall package.
No way.
It is. But I think it's better than XOXO.
You're a lot higher than I was.
But
I think we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but you just hate this sort of film.
I do.
There's a lot to like about this film.
Yeah, there's also a lot to not like about it.
Compared to
I'm not far away.
The dirge that's around this.
I don't think I'm far away.
Where are you putting it?
12.
It's better than Robot Overlords. Robot Overlords is bad.
It's 10th in the stream table. It can't be that bad.
It's not good.
It's your wild card.
I know.
the Sweeney Todd film really sticks out in this stream table because it's so different from everything else.
Well, it's
And it's always
years
going
old.
to be. Yeah. And it's really difficult to compare anything to it, though.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Robot Overlords. I don't hate this, but I don't. It's either side of that. I don't think I can see it going any higher than that.
I'll drop it. All right, then I'll compromise. I'm willing to put it. I'll drop it down one.
So you'll drop it below XOXO.
Yeah, but I do think it is. This is one of the best 10 films we've seen this season.
That's not
all
hard,
things
though.
considered. No, I'm not. No, I agree.
No, I agree. I
100%
know what you mean.
agree.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a high bar, but I think this. I'm fine with this being 10th.
I'll concede with that as well then, because
I think if you look at the whole thing, performances, some of the creativity with that home movie stuff, it doesn't all come off, but this is trying to do something. There's the bits that are good in this are better than the bits that are good in Robot Overlords.
Yeah, I agree. It's just personal taste, isn't it? I mean, if you said to me, which one do you want to watch again?
You're not going to put this movie on for fun.
No, you're not.
I totally
That's
get
another
that.
thing. We're like, who is
Totally
this movie aimed at?
Yeah.
If you told me to pick between the two to watch, I'm watching Robot Overlords again. And
I totally understand that. I'm just trying to be a bit objective.
Yeah, as a movie, then this is probably trying to tell a better story. It fails to do it, but it's trying to tell a better story than Robot Overlords. Okay, 10th.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think that's really fair.
Okay. Wow. We've completed a stream table. The 7th stream table of our illustrious podcasting career. Congratulations. Job well done. Happy with it overall?
Yes.
Do you think the right film won?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think the right film lost?
Apocalypse, please. Yes.
100%.
Yeah. There's what a big gap in between those.
There's a couple of gaps in the table. So like between 19th and 20th, Endangered Species and 19th, Target is the 20th. That's a big gap.
Oh, we'll have that argument on Monday.
Okay.
The wave on Monday.
Okay.
We'll analyse
So
this a bit.
like we said at the beginning,
on the wave.
Next week's wave. I think we said it on the wave actually. Next week's wave, we're going to go through the whole stream table, see what we think about it, try and break it down, see what happens. So we'll do that. We used to do that in like a single episode, but we figured we'd just do it in the wave.
Yeah.
I'm not doing 3 episodes a week. That's for damn sure.
But yeah, Wheelman wins season 7.
It does
Bottom of
indeed.
the stream.
Congratulations, Nick, on completing another season of Bottom of the Stream.
I've had a great time.
You ready for a next one?
Yeah.
Should we pick the first film of season 8?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
This is crazy. When we started this, do you think we'd ever get to 200 films? Because we're going to.
Well, yeah. No, I didn't. Thank you for everyone who still listens.
I think we'd maybe do like 5 films and we'd be done. I mean, I never stick to anything. I'm stuck to this. Okay, shall we get Robin out? See if he can pick the first film for season 8 for us.
Bring her out.
Are you ready?
I am.
It has picked a movie called The Cleanse.
Okay.
Any ideas?
None whatsoever.
Would you like to know?
Yes.
Let me find it on IMDb for you. Okay. On Netflix, it's called The Cleanse. On IMDb, it's called The Master Cleanse.
Oh, great. I love a double title.
According to IMDb, it's a comedy, drama, fantasy, horror, sci-fi.
Oh, covering all the bases.
Literally all of them. It's from 2016. Do you want the synopsis?
Yes, please.
A heartbroken man attends a spiritual retreat to cleanse himself and fix his broken life. There he meets a fellow lost soul, and together they discover that the cleanse releases more than everyday toxins. A lot more.
Okay.
Interesting. Do you want to know who's in it?
Yes, please.
Johnny Galecki and Anna Friel.
Oh, of course. What?
Why not?
Well, of all the 2 people in the world, why wouldn't I have guessed it would be a guy from the Big Bang Theory and the
woman from
Brookside?
Kyle Gallner and Angelica Houston are also
Oh,
in
wow.
it.
Okay.
Big cast. Oliver Platt's in it.
Oh, there's quite a few names.
Yeah, there's some big names in this.
The Cleanse. Okay, fine. I'm down. Yeah, I'm
You
down.
down for the cleanse?
Yeah, sure am.
Shall we do a cleanse in the week leading up? Juice cleanse?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
No. Yeah, so go out and watch The Cleanse, and we'll come back with season 8 of season 8.
Amazing. The Ocho.
In the meantime, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. Same username at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, our email is bottomofthestream@gmail.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On the website, you'll find every episode we've ever recorded, all the stream tables, loads of other cool stuff, and you can even buy some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Lawnmower.
lawnmower. You just look at my lawn needing mowing. It does, doesn't it? After you've done all of that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You will get bonus episodes. You will get a newsletter that Nick writes every month, and you will get a wild card if you come in at the top level, which means you can give Robin the week off and you can pick the film that we watch the following week. After you've done all of that, head over to Discord. The Discord is a really cool place where loads of cool people hang out and chat and talk about movies, talk about TV shows, play games. We do watch-alongs. All sorts of cool shit's going on in Discord. And if you're lucky, we might even get to meet you at some point because we've done that a couple of times now. And yeah, the Discord link will be in the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review or a rating anywhere you can review or rate podcasts. We're on all of those places: Spotify, Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all those ones you know about, probably ones you don't know about, definitely some that we don't know about because all the time we get people saying, oh, I found you on this, and we didn't even know that was a thing that existed for listening to podcasts, but we're on them all. So
We are.
Thank you for all your support. It's been another great season. We really do appreciate every single person who listens, even to just one episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all know you come back for more. But that's great. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for all your support.
Absolutely. I couldn't echo that more. Tell everybody about us. Tell your friends. Tell your nan. Tell
Your
everybody.
friend's nan.
Tell your friend's nan. Tell anybody's nan. We want more nans listening.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but we do. So yeah, do all of that. It's been another great season. There's some shocking films in
Are
that
you sure
season.
you want Nans listening? We've just spent 10 minutes
true.
talking about knitted dicks.
Yeah, but they could Nan's knit.
That's true. That's true.
What a great way to end the season. Nan's knit dicks.
Hashtag.
Hashtag Nan's knit dicks.
I can't top that. Let's get out
of here. We'll see you next week for The Wave and the following Thursday for the season premiere of season 8 of Bottom of the Stream.
Cheers.
Bye.
I don't know what happened to my voice.